That has to rank as probably the worst episode of Game of Thrones that I've ever seen. Um, this is me being fully real here, because I know most of the reviews that you'll see, he'll be like, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing! Look how incredible it is." But I've got to double down on this. The first three seasons of Game of Thrones was arguably probably the best TV show we've ever seen, based on the writing, the characters, the acting, the cinematography, and everything. But what I think, especially people who've read the books, I've not read the books, but even from a guy who's not read the books, I've noticed that the moment that Benioff and Weiss deviated, and actually, sorry, not deviated, but actually surpassed George R. R. Martin's books and were left on their own, the writing has declined. Earlier on, they lent on George R. R. Martin's writing and his story and the way that he drew the characters. But what you have now is this is just a TV show now. There's no complexity, no density. There is no depth to the characters or the writing that we saw in the earlier seasons. And with this now, it's, first of all, the acting ain't great. I mean, like, Emilia Clarke and Sansa Stark and Daenerys, those actresses, I mean, we're talking Class C, Class B bricks. I'm sorry, Class C, Class B bricks. The acting are very good. And just, the writing it's just very plain. It's so plain. And it's as if the writers are like, oh my gosh, these are like our heroes now. Let's just give them the very cheesy lines that the fans want. So pretty much, it's fan service. It's fan service. I don't feel as if this are how the characters would act based on how we knew them in the earlier on seasons. They just seem as if, because obviously characters deviate, but they've just sort of devolved into caricatures and one-dimensional characters, pretty much. But I've got to say something about Jaime Lannister. I see what you guys are doing. Do you think that we're going to forget that this dude was sleeping and having sex with his sister? Are we supposed to forget that? Do you think, for 1 second, do you really believe that I am going to forgive a man for pushing a little boy out of a window and crippling him for life? Are we going to forget that? So you want me to accept Jaime Lannister is now the sweet, lovely guy who has now made Brienne a knight and therefore all is good? No. You were involved in incest and you pushed an innocent boy down through the window, thus crippling him. So you're evil. That's what you are. You're not redeemable. So the whole, because I see what they're doing. We're like, oh my God, Jaime's now a good guy now, and we now have a sweet side of him, and all that was gone before was just him in the past. Nah. You ain't gonna get me there, bro. So I don't buy that. I don't buy him being redeemable. I don't buy that. But I think one of the biggest things in this episode was Jon Snow, or rather the Targaryen himself, telling Daenerys that he is in fact a Targaryen and he is in fact the heir to the throne. And I think, which is what I sort of mentioned in the first episode, that is major news. It's huge news. So I thought that they would save that till like episode 4. You know, maybe just before the fight, which we presume in episode 5. But, you know, it's as if that he's not fully accepted the news, but the way he's telling Daenerys is that he has accepted the news, but I don't know whether it's his lack of acting skill, the poor writing, that it just seems as if, wait a minute, this is probably the biggest news in the series, because once he receives this news, it changes everything. It changes everything. Like how he views himself, how he views what he's meant to do, it changes everything because you're the heir to the throne. You're literally that dude. So if you're that dude, bro, let's get a reaction, man. I mean, what the hell? So I don't know what was going on there, because I just didn't buy how he had received such heavy news of you are the flipping secretary, you're not a bastard child. That was all a lie. To protect you, you are in fact the true heir to the throne. But I think, you see, the issues I had with this episode was, you see, this is something I have, and I think I've got to put out there. This is like woman's lib. This is like girl power. The thing about it is that people say, oh my gosh, you're so sexist, blah, blah, blah. 2 of the best characters in this show, Lady Tyrell and Lady Stark. So quality characters, amazing characters. I really like those characters, and the actors and the actresses were top notch. But we all know, I remember guys, spoilers, so look, yeah, we all know what happened to them. They got killed. So, but what you have now is, and I think this is the issue of this show, all the best actors pretty much got killed. And what we're left with are the worst actors, because Jon Snow, Kit Harington, he ain't that great. Emilia Clarke is not a good actress. Sophie Turner is not a good actress. The Maisie Williams plays Arya Stark, she aight. But what we're left with are pretty much the worst actors. Really, the best actor that we have left, really just for acting quality, is Tyrion. And Peter Dinklage. He's the best actor that's left. So that's why, when the issue I had with this was that, okay, this is just showing how amazing the women are and how useless the men are. Because it just seems like if all the men are pretty much losers. Like the Hound is a loser now. The Jaime Lannister is a loser. He said he can't fight now. Jon Snow can't even decide whether he's king or not. Tyrion, we've now learned that he's drunk so much so he can't even use his balls anymore. Pretty much all the guys are losers. And all the women pretty much try to show how much the guys are losers. So, and it just seems so in your face, that message that's like, guys, this is too... Again, it just shows bad writing, because rather than you watching a story and it's organically go through, which is what we had in the earlier seasons, this seems as if it's like a political message of like, yes, us young women were the ones leading through, and you guys, man, you ain't good for nothing, man. Yeah, man, you ain't gonna tell me anything, yo. So I'm like, guys, man, I'm not here for a political message. I'm here for a good quality story. Okay, I'm here for a good quality story, well-written characters. I don't give a damn about this pro-female movement. Sorry, I'm here to, but for pro-female movement, that's cool, but there's a time I'm placed for that, which is through a documentary or through matches or whatsoever. This is Game of Thrones. This is about dragons, okay? This is about fantasy. Okay, this is about the battles, which is what I signed up for. So, but for me, like, the best part of this entire episode was the end. Them building up, because homeboy, my guy, the Night's King, man, he said, what's up? The Night King went, so that's my guy. The Night King is Tyrion, obviously, he's my favorite character. But you know what? I'll be real with you. Based on how they treated Tyrion, I want the Night King to sit on our throne. But my thing about this is this. I believe there are 6 episodes. So we are now going into episode 3 now. And judging by the pattern, which they have pretty much kept with, apart from maybe one season, the penultimate episode is always the massive battle. So my thinking is this. I believe that the real massive battle will be in episode 5. But I think there'll be a precursor to that battle, perhaps in episode 4. And then episode 6 is what wraps everything around. So I believe, I don't think there's going to be any fighting. Or if there's going to be fighting, there's going to be like little skirmishes in the next episode. But for me, I mean, let's get it on right now. Because judging by what those guys look like, the army and so forth, I think we're looking at the Night's King is going to say, well, the White Walkers should pretty much destroy these guys, because what I expect to happen is they're just going to peg those guys back and say, look, guys, you guys are trash. What's up? You guys are complete and utter trash. So I signed up for the battle. I signed up for the Night's King. That's what I signed up for. That's what I'm here for. I'm not here for women's lib. Okay, I don't give a damn about Daenerys. Literally, take those dragons away. She's useless. She's a brick without those dragons. I'm not here for, yeah, we are strong women. I don't give a damn. I'm here for what I hope is going to... Because look, these guys have a lot to do to achieve the biggest battle. From what I've heard, they say this may be like the longest concurring battle that we've seen in a while. So that's where I want them to deliver from. But it's going to be interesting. Again, comment below. I believe it is 6 episodes. It is 6 episodes, I believe. So, again, I don't know how this guy's going to survive. I think the way they've presented is... Oh, sorry, before... Okay, Arya Stark. She said she's a virgin. Now, logic would state virgins are somewhat not skilled in the arts of... how can I say it? Sexual activity. That's what the term virgin means. So it threw me aback that Arya Stark seemed as if you said you're a virgin you said I want to experience this before we go into battle, not knowing what will happen when we go into battle. But then when you do that, your moves look like if you're like a seasoned porn star. I was looking at like Iana Angel, Lisa Ann, Jada Fire, Kiara Maya. Like those are the kind of skills I was seeing there. So I'm like, that doesn't make any logical sense. If you're a virgin, you shouldn't be that well versed. You should actually be a bit like, okay, well, what's going on? Yeah, you may be well versed in battle and fighting, but if you've never had sex before, the way you were moving was like a pro. So that just threw me off. Because when I watched it, I was like, you said you're a virgin, you never experienced this before, then how are you moving as if you're a lot more experienced than the dude who said he slept with like 3 or 4 others before? That just didn't make any sense, So, look, I'll just put that out there. But yeah, I signed up for the battles. That's why I paid my fee to watch this thing right now. I don't care about the woman's lip. That's irrelevant for me. I roll with the Night King. That's my boy. That's my homie. That's my guy. That's the dude. I hope he sits on the throne because I feel he deserves the throne. The only 2 people I want to sit on the throne are either the Night King or your boy Tyrion. If Daenerys comes anywhere near that throne, I'll take a shotgun and I'll blow my TV to smithereens. So I don't want to blow my TV to smithereens, so don't put Daenerys on that flipping throne because she's an annoying crap character who's only irrelevant because of those flipping dragons. Speaking of which, these guys are screwed because don't think I've forgotten, these White Walkers have a damn dragon. So, 1 White Walker dragon defeats 2 normal dragons, in my estimation.